What's up? I am Esquire Codex. That is my name, and that is who I am. Bonafide Codex. Well, on the screen here, I am playing the Swapper. This is such a good game. I've actually finished it once and a half. I went back to get all the achievements the second time. And it is so good. I don't usually get too involved in a game where I just kind of can lose myself, but this one, and especially not puzzle games, but this one, just like the great atmosphere, just pulled me right in. And it's claymation. Everything, all the animation is done claymation. Which just makes it incredible. It's so beautiful looking. The soundtrack to go along with it is really great. I so suggest it to anyone if they want to play a computer game. I so suggest the Swapper. It's been one of my favorite games in a long while. And another thing I loved about it is the puzzles. I never got incredibly frustrated with them. There was two I had to look up for solutions to help me get going because I just couldn't get past them. But by the end of the game, the difficulty of them was just perfect. I felt like I had learned from the puzzles previous to it so that I was better ready to beat these levels. But then they still presented difficulty to me, but yet it wasn't just so frustrating. And then it had just the right amount of puzzles. Like I felt could have had a few more, but any more past that, it would have been laborious, and I would have been getting tired of the puzzles. But just perfect, and the story itself is really intriguing, more philosophical, makes you really think. They just did a great job with the Swapper. I would love to see another one, Swapper 2. Be great. I would totally pick it up and play it. So, I recommend the Swapper. Other recommendations. Books. Since my last video, I've read quite a few. I've read The Death of Ivan Ilych by Leo Tolstoy. I have read Fathers and Sons by Ivan Turgenev. I've read 1491 by Charles Mann, and The Liberator by Alex Kershaw, and Silas Marner, I just finished today, by George Eliot. On this video, I just want to quickly talk about those first two, Death of Ivan Ilych and Fathers and Sons. First one, The Death of Ivan Ilych. I've read Tolstoy's two bigger famous novels, Anna Karenina and War and Peace, and I've been meaning to read Death of Ivan Ilych. I mean, why not? It's like 100 pages. I've read these 1,000-page books, but why can't I read a 100-page one, you know? And I finally got around to do it. It was another novella from The Art of the Novella, that series I had recommended before. Still highly recommend it. Beautiful books. I just love the style of them. So I got that in the mail. So I read Death of Ivan Ilych, and man, that's like bona fide depressing. It's this guy who basically he's dying of this illness that is slowly killing him, slowly making it more painful. And first off, the pain of the illness is the thing that gets me. It got me a lot because it's like he described it as a pain that's not really a pain, but just at least at first, not specifically a pain, but just an uncomfortableness always there. Kind of like when you have a stomach ache and it's not really an excruciating pain, it's just this uncomfortableness that doesn't allow you to focus on anything, and it's just always there in the back of your mind distracting you. And that was how his disease was for the first good bit, until it just really became straight up pain in his last few weeks. But so just the pain wise, I hated that part of it. I would hate to have that. But the mental side of it, as he's slowly dying, he was coming to the realization that everything he did in his life has no further, it has no significance. He's coming to the realization that he lived this life and he thought he had done good. He had been working his life just to work. He had been good at his job, but he had no lasting significance. His wife barely put up with him, was happy for him only because of the money he provided, and his daughter, kind of the same, only liked him, only really loved him because he provided for her. And he saw that as he was dying, because they hardly gave a hoot about his pain. His wife would always come in and be like, "Oh, why aren't you taking your meds?" Even though he was. "Oh, do this," and "Oh, hey, I'm going out to the opera. You know, have fun sitting by your lonesome self." They didn't have any true sympathy for him and his suffering. He was more of a chore for them, having to take care of him. It was just a roadblock in their day, something they had to think about. It wasn't a true love. They weren't sitting there thinking, "Oh, I hope he gets better," praying, "Please get better, Ivan." No, they were more like, "Oh, just hurry up and die, Ivan. You are holding up my day every day. I have to prepare your medicines for you. I have to give it to you. You're just such a hassle. Why don't you die?" Even his co-workers, I shouldn't say even, his wife should care more, but his co-workers, they would call on him every once in a while to see how he's doing, but they only cared and only talked about him because when he died, one of them would get his position. So that they didn't care about his illness, they cared about his death. And to see that be the merit of your life as you're about to die, that people are waiting for your death, they're anticipating it, not lamenting the fact that you're about to leave them, that you're about to leave this world and they'll never see you again. Rather, they are just excited, I guess you could say, for your death. And so he came to that realization, and he couldn't fix it because he was about to die, and thus he died with the full realization that he had done nothing of special significance on the world. So that was a depressing book. You definitely read it. I hope I didn't spoil it too much, because just read it, and the full words of Tolstoy will really get you better than what I can describe. I'm actually not going to go into Father and Son. I think I'll do that in my next video, because I can probably talk a bit about that one too. I just, hopefully I can keep talking to you guys about these books, these Russian books. So great Russian literature. Well, I'll join you guys next time with another video from the Swapper. Peace out.